And here's the snap. Hands it to Audric Estime, and that is and should be a touchdown. Here we go. Bryson Mars has got his back behind him. It is Jaquindon Jackson. Here's the snap. Bryson Barnes looking deep. He's got a man. It's caught! He's gone! Touchdown early! And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. It is the Sugar Bowl. It is Georgia. It is Notre Dame. And it is played almost a day later than what it was scheduled originally to play. And that is due to the fact that there was a horrific terror attack in the French Quarter of New Orleans, Louisiana. Of course, it is incredible to see that the game is being played right now as we're about to get this game kicked off. But we're here for some football. Of course, these players and these coaches, everyone involved with the football game cannot, other than the security, they can't control what goes on outside. But we're just thankful that we have a football game that will be played. But here we are. The Sugar Bowl is being played today. Of course, this game is between the second-seeded Georgia Bulldogs and the seventh-seeded Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The Irish come off of just a game where the score may not tell you that it was just a really dominant performance by Notre Dame, but it was. 27-3 was really the score of the game. It was just Notre Dame allowed 2 touchdowns late in the ball game. But now you got Georgia, who has been sitting at home after the SEC championship. And today, you got a backup quarterback in Gunnar Stockton who's going to go as starting quarterback. He will be a starting quarterback going for the entirety of the college football playoff journey that Georgia has this season. So, with all that being said, so here is the current look at the bracket of what is going on. As you can see, Georgia, Notre Dame are in the top half of the bracket. And so, of course, Notre Dame, as you can see, they won 27-17 over Indiana. The winner of this game here today will go to the Orange Bowl to face off against Penn State, who just took down Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl 31-14. And you see the other side of the bracket, Ohio State and Texas will play for the Cotton Bowl in a semifinal where winner of that will go to the national championship. So, yes, you can see that I have updated my bracket a little bit as far as the format and everything with that. So, Georgia and Notre Dame, what a game we're going to have. Of course, like I said, today we're going to see how Gunnar Stockton does. Some big names that could potentially help the quarterback. Look for Trevor Etienne and Nate Frazier to be heavily involved in the run game. At least I think they should, because it'll help a young quarterback in Gunnar Stockton who's going to make his first career start. It's going to make a big difference. But then guys like Dominic Lovett, Arian Smith, Dylan Bell, they've got to help Gunnar Stockton here today. They've got to get open. They got to catch the ball. But then you also got your tight end, Oscar Delp. And Georgia is going to rely on this offense to help Gunnar Stockton out. Now, keep in mind, the defense for Georgia has been incredible. This game most likely will be won by which defense plays better. That's going to be the difference in today's ball game. Now, you keep in mind, Notre Dame, of course, Riley Leonard, your star quarterback, he is going to be big. He's got 751 yards on the ground himself. Now, they got a 1,000-yard rusher in Jeremiah Love with 1,057. And between those two between Leonard and Jeremiah Love, you have 31 touchdowns. That is big. So, the teams are about ready to come out of the locker room and make their way on the field. And here come the Irish. course, Notre Dame has won 11 straight games since their loss to Northern Illinois in the second week of the season. Notre Dame is a very interesting ball club this season. And it all starts with that run game that they have, which is electric. But they can still pass the ball with efficiency because they got a quarterback in Riley Leonard who can make some passes down the field. So really, if you ask me what the big matchup that I'm watching here today, I'm watching that Notre Dame offense go up against the Georgia defense. That's what I'm watching here today. I think that's going to be big. But here we go. The Georgia Bulldogs getting set to come out of the locker room. And here come the Dogs. (11-2) SEC champions. They won back-to-back national championships in 2021 and 2022. They are looking to go back-to-back. They're looking to get their third championship. So we will see in a moment who will play Penn State in the Orange Bowl. Will all four of the first round winners make their way to the semifinal round, or will Georgia be the only team that got a bye make it to the semifinal round and the Orange Bowl? We will see when you return. All right. Welcome back, everybody. We are just waiting on the national broadcast to get you ready. Georgia and Notre Dame. Now, keep in mind, Notre Dame hosted the first ever home playoff game as part of the 12-team playoff, and they have been waiting nearly 2 weeks to get this matchup with Georgia. Georgia, of course, waiting longer since the SEC championship game. Now, the obvious answer is that these two squads, the winner will have the quickest turnaround to have to play against Penn State in the Orange Bowl. So it will be interesting to watch whoever wins this ball game, watch them play in the Orange Bowl next Thursday. So here we go. The official is Michael Vandervelde. He is from the Big 12. Of course, Notre Dame, an independent school. Georgia from the SEC. They have Big 12 officiating. Notre Dame is called heads. Notre Dame wins the toss. Notre Dame has deferred to the second half. And so Georgia will begin with the ball. So we are going to get to see Gunnar Stockton's first career start. A note for you, the viewer, is that Gunnar Stockton is the first quarterback in the history of the college football playoff to get his first career start in a playoff game. So that is huge. We will see how that translates today for the Georgia Bulldogs. And then, of course, Notre Dame. I'm interested. I want to see how if Notre Dame's defense, knowing that you got a very young and inexperienced quarterback in Gunnar Stockton, do they bring pressure today? I will be very interested to see what they decide to do. So we are just waiting for kickoff. What a season for the Georgia Bulldogs. Undefeated at home. They lose 2 games on the road. They lose to Ole Miss and Alabama. But find a way to get to the SEC championship game. They win it. And here they are. And then, of course, Notre Dame, as we mentioned before, they have the one loss to Northern Illinois at home. And then they have won 11 straight games. So here we go. As we said, Notre Dame will kick the ball off to begin the ball game. It'll be Georgia football. It is the All-State Sugar Bowl live on Saber Broadcast Network, and we are away. It is Georgia football as that will land in the end zone. So here comes Gunnar Stockton. In the SEC championship game, in relief of Carson Beck, he was 12 of 16 for 71 yards. He threw an interception, no touchdown passes. But the thing to watch out for today, like I've said before, is his ability to make plays on the run. This is his first start since November of 2021 at Rabun County, Georgia High School. So here we go, 1st and 10. Stockton's got a running back to his right, sends a man in motion. He takes the snap. He'll hand it off to his running back, Trevor Etienne, who's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And Notre Dame early is, of course, bringing some pressure. And that is need for that Notre Dame defense, 2nd and 12. And see, this is what I was wondering. Would they bring a lot of pressure with a young, inexperienced quarterback? And so far with that pitch was a tackle for loss. Here's Stockton rolling, looking. He's going down by the line of scrimmage. Burnham with the stop, and that is a sack. So Georgia's going backwards to begin this ball game. And this could not be any worse of a start if you are the Georgia Bulldogs. I don't think this is what you were wanting if you are the Dogs. 3rd and 12. It's a very long 12. Here's Stockton going to throw it outside and incomplete. And he was looking for Dylan Bell. And they finally throw the flag. It was a late flag, but they finally threw it. And that's a pass interference going against Notre Dame. So that will continue this Georgia Bulldogs drive. That's Gray on that Notre Dame side. Dylan Bell clearly held up, had no chance. And so here we go. 1st and 10 for the Georgia Bulldogs. That offensive line of Georgia, they got to get going. There's been too much pressure on Stockton here early. So here we go. Here's Stockton, takes the snap. It's an end around. And now coming with the ball is, I believe, Arian Smith, who's just going behind the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go. This Notre Dame defense is swarming all over Georgia here early. This Notre Dame defense is really giving Georgia a lot of trouble here early in this ball game. And you saw it in around where Stockton handed it off to I think it was Cash Jones who's on the receiving end, and then they gave it to Arian Smith. But here we go, another carry. Stockton's going to try to run with it himself, and he'll pick up some positive yards, getting back to the original line of scrimmage, and that'll be 3rd down and long. So we'll see what Stockton can do here on this upcoming play. But a long 3rd down coming, because it looks like it's about 9 yards have to gain. It is 9 yards to gain for the Georgia Bulldogs. So here we go. Georgia has struggled on 3rd down all season long. Notre Dame's going to bring pressure. Here's Stockton looking to throw. He's got some pressure. He lost the ball. He fumbled it out of bounds. And that right there is not the start you wanted if you were a Georgia Bulldogs fan. And what a start if you are Notre Dame on this defense. And I mean, Stockton looks like a quarterback who just doesn't look ready for the moment per se, but you can tell Notre Dame, they were ready. They have been ready for Georgia. So I believe they're looking to see if this is a fumble or a pass. So while they figure this out, we're going to go to commercial break, and we'll see you on the other side. So we'll be right back. All right, we are back. National broadcast still at a break. So while we have a break for a moment. Okay. So okay. Well, we of course, as I mentioned in the last 2 streams over the last 2 days, we are going to be doing we're going to be broadcasting UFL football. So that is something that if you like spring football, we'll be getting that starts at the near the end of March. Also, I believe they have announced the schedule, so I'm going to pull that up real quick. But of course, I'm going to be looking at this after the game, and I may be able to announce something because I'm planning on tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night sometime, whenever I get time, that I would probably announce like the first game that I'll be doing. But they have announced they're going to do a Friday night schedule of games, so it'll be interesting. But here we go. Georgia to punt on 4th and 21. So Thorson out to punt today for the Bulldogs. So here we go. Here's Thorson. That is away. And so Notre Dame will call fair catch on that. Now we got a flag. And it may be running into the kicker or roughing the kicker, whichever one. I believe Young ran into him. So here we go. So it's running into the kicker. Oh. Okay, so it wasn't Thorson who's out there. It is the backup because I believe Thorson got hurt in the SEC championship. This is Drew Miller. So here we go. Miller got blasted that first time. We'll see 4th and 16 now if he'll have a better punt. So here we go. Here's the punt. And they were coming after again, and they ran into his leg again. And another flag. So it looks like Bryce Young, the defensive player of Notre Dame, runs into him again. Wow. So it looks like it's only going to be 5 once again. And they decline it this time. So Notre Dame's offense will finally come out there. But Bryce Young, the defensive player, I mean, you gotta play smarter. If you're Drew Miller, golly, welcome to college football. So here we go. Riley Leonard and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Looks like Jeremiah Love will go to the right of Leonard. Here we go. Leonard getting some motion, takes the snap. He's looking to throw. And that one's tipped at the line of scrimmage. And now Leonard looking to throw again, and that'll be out of bounds. And a flag. What a active first few minutes for the refs. I don't think you can throw it again after the ball getting tipped off that first throw. Wow. So it was an illegal forward pass after the first pass. So it's loss of down and a 5-yard penalty for Notre Dame. So that is not a great start there. But I mean, a guy like Riley Leonard, who's played as much college football as he has, he should know by now you can't do that. So here we go. It's going to be 2nd and 15, I believe. Here is Riley Leonard handing it off to Jeremiah Love, who's going to get a few yards right there. And that is all that it'll be doing right there. So a few yards for Jeremiah Love. So here we go. Clock is moving. Third and 19. So it's a 15-yard penalty. Here we go. Man in motion. Leonard looking to throw. Leonard, he got pressured. It's going to be 4th and 19. And so you can see so far, this may end up being a defensive football game here early. This is just great on the pass rush at Georgia, getting to Leonard and just making life very tough. I think the ball may have been tipped or no, he just Leonard's arm just got hit by Walker. And so both defenses, great start. And there's Rendell punting it back to Georgia. And so Georgia will start on their own 19-yard line with Gunnar Stockton. And so Stockton is like we said, a young quarterback. He hasn't started a game. And so we'll see what he can do on this drive. First drive didn't look great for him. I think this drive could be much better for him. I feel like he's a guy who had to get into the flow of the game. And now that he's into the flow, maybe he will light it up. So here we go. Here is Stockton, hands it off, and that is Trevor Etienne pushing the pile, and that is a positive gain. So 2nd down for the Dogs. Here's Stockton looking to throw. He's going to throw it. Great catch right there. And going down the sideline, Dylan Bell. He broke a tackle and got about 10 more yards. And they are at the 40 of Notre Dame. And this is the promise you see from Stockton. Dylan Bell's not even open, and he throws him wide open. Great job. And I think Dylan Bell, he may have been out of bounds on that. But that is a great completion if you are Stockton. They did bring it back. And now they're going to review the catch. Wow, this is a crazy first quarter, but we're going to join the national broadcast and go into the commercial break. We'll be right back. right, everybody. So the catch is still being reviewed. So we will be right back as soon as we get word. All right, everybody. Welcome back. So we should be getting our answer here in just a moment. So, of course, like I said earlier, later tonight we should get at least announce what our first matchup will be. So it was a catch. So Georgia gets the first down. That is a big time play for them. And really, I mean, for a guy like Gunnar Stockton, I know you played in the SEC championship game and you played well, but this is your first start ever in college, so it's good to get a positive play. As here is a run for ETN. He'll get maybe 2 yards, and that'll be it. Of course, ETN, a guy who began his career at Florida, transferred into Georgia. You don't see that very often. A guy that is at Florida make his way to Georgia in football. I mean, those are two big rivals, but hey, that's what happened. He's also the brother of Travis Etienne in the NFL, who played for Clemson. So 2nd and 9 for the Dogs. Here is Stockton going to throw it wide. And I believe that's Dylan Bell who'll get a few yards right there, and that'll be it. 3rd down for Georgia. And see, look, what Georgia needs to do here, they need to, stay on the field and let, just get Stockton some completions, make it easy on him. Let the less stuff that it's going to be, crazy for him, the better. Make it, simplify the offense enough where he can ease himself into the ball game. Here's Stockton throwing across the middle, caught, 1st down, Dylan Bell once again. So we can see here early, Stockton, he is going to Dylan Bell. Dylan Bell is his top guy. And what a throw. I mean, you got big number 56 on that Notre Dame defense. That's Howard Cross the third. You're throwing with his arm being there, and Cross just barely misses that ball. So now at midfield, we'll see what Georgia does. Of course, 1st and 10, clock moving, 7.5 to go. Stockton throwing across the middle again. 1st down and a lot more. And it's Dominic Lovett. And a great 1st down. Okay, so they mark him a half yard short of the 1st down. Okay. That's interesting. So here we go. Here's Stockton handing it off to his running back, who will make a good little gain right there. Nate Frazier, his first carry of the ball game. 5 yards on the carry. So Georgia now moving up the field a little bit better. They're now at the 36 of Notre Dame. Of course, they're looking up over to the sideline trying to get the play call. Of course, Mike Bobo, offensive coordinator for the Georgia Bulldogs. Here is Stockton rolling to his right. Going to throw it and back to his running back, Trevor Etienne. He'll get about 2 yards, and that'll be it. So Dylan Bell and Cash Jones, two of the best offensive players for the Bulldogs, are out at the moment. So we'll see if they have a chance to come back in this ball game. Here we go. Stockton takes the snap, hands it off. He fakes the handoff, and he will get back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. And a flag on the field. We'll see what this is all about. And Bryce Young, the defensive player for Notre Dame, he has his third total penalty of the game with that. So here we go. 2nd and 3 for the Dogs. Helped out by that penalty by Bryce Young. Here's Stockton handing it off. And that's a few yards right there for Nate Frazier, but not much more. So it's going to be 3rd and short for the Dogs here early in this ball game. And with about 5:15 to go in the first quarter, I like the way Georgia's doing on this drive, right? This offensive drive. They're moving up the field. And like I said, you're trying to simplify the offense for Stockton enough where, they can move the ball. And so we'll see what he can do for the remainder of this ball game. And another flag. So we'll see what this is going to be. And false start on Georgia. So, of course, that's Tate Ratledge who gets the penalty. 3rd and 6 for the Dogs. So here we go. Stockton takes a snap, hands it off to his running back, and that will be a first down for Trevor Etienne. So a great run right there by Etienne, and he does a great job. That's that burst of speed to get past that Notre Dame defense. He just has enough speed, gets past them, gets past that defense. Great first down if you're Georgia. So here we go. Here's Stockton handing it off. And that'll go for about a yard or two, and that'll be it. So clock will continue to move. Georgia, you can tell in the second drive, they've been more content to just run the ball and help your quarterback out, get them into this ball game a little bit, but ease it in, ease your way into this ball game. Notre Dame's defense first drive, I felt like they did a good job. This drive, they are not helping themselves. 2nd and 9. Here's Stockton rolling to his right, going to throw it. That is for Dominic Lovett, and it'll be 3rd down, but short. A short 3rd down, so I think that's what Georgia needs. If you're going to be in 3rd down situations, get it to a short and manageable situation. I think that's what most teams want. They're doing a great job. Gunnar Stockton, 6 of 6 for 41 yards. Of course, a lot of that being some short throws that are, easy stuff, just gimme passes. So we'll see. Here we go. Stockton under center. Got a running back behind him. He's going to hand it off to that running back, and he lost the ball. He lost the ball. Notre Dame's got it. Notre Dame's got it. Notre Dame football. And just when you thought Georgia was going to take control, go down and score, there is a fumble from Trevor Etienne. And I mean, it's just a helmet on the ball. Notre Dame rips that thing out of there, and they come up with the fumble recovery. Notre Dame football. We will see in a moment if that is a big turning point in this ball game. All right, welcome back, everybody. Georgia fumbles, and the ball is back in the hands of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. We will see in a moment what Notre Dame does on this offensive drive. See you in a moment. All right, here we go. Riley Leonard of the Notre Dame offense back on the field. Here's Leonard handing it off to Jeremiah Love, who will get a few yards right there, and that'll be it. Great stop right there by that Georgia defense. Of course, Jeremiah Love in that playoff game against Indiana, he had that, I can't remember if it was, I think it was 99-yard touchdown run. It was incredible to watch. That was just it was all Notre Dame all night long. And so 2nd and 7 now. Of course, Georgia sending five to pressure Riley Leonard. Here's Leonard throwing. That'll be caught. And a nice run after the catch for Bo Collins. Or no, that's actually Jordan Faison. I thought that was 5, not 6 on the jersey. It was after the catch that I realized that was number 6, Jordan Faison. To be fair, the 5 and the 6 for Notre Dame is very similar as far as the font shows for their jerseys. So clock moving, 1:15 to go before the end of the first quarter. Leonard got a running back behind him. He's going to hand it to him. That's Jeremiah Love. And that will gain a few yards, and it'll be 2nd down for the Irish. And so Jeremiah Love, of course, getting some touches here early in the ball game. Under a minute to go before the end of the first quarter. 2nd down for the Irish, 7 yards is how much they have to gain. And now some penalties. And we'll see who's the false start is on. Offensive penalty, false start on number 59. That right there is Emil Wagner, the right tackle for the Irish. 2nd and 12. Jeremiah Love, it's something I just heard today. He played battling a sickness during the Indiana game, as there's a throw to the tight end, Mitchell Evans. It only gets a yard. Great job by the Georgia defense. But Jeremiah Love definitely, he said there was moments he felt like he's going to pass out during the game against Indiana. That's just how, that's how he was just not feeling great. He pushed through and still played through all of that. And he had that 98-yard touchdown run. So, I mean, hey. But that is the end of quarter number 1 in this year's Sugar Bowl. We will see you on the other side. All right, welcome back, everybody. Into the first quarter, Notre Dame. So far, what have I thought about the ball game? Well, I think that Georgia had a great drive going there. It just, they got, of course, Trevor Etienne ended up fumbling the football. But so far, this is going to be a defensive football game. There's no doubt about it. This is all about defense, and really, it just may be the first team to get to 10 points is going to win the ball game. That may be what we're in for today. But, of course, we'll be right back with coverage of the second quarter. Here we go, 3rd and 11 for Riley Leonard. That one will be complete. And that is to number 2, Jaden Harrison. So Notre Dame will have to punt here at the beginning of the second quarter. Welcome back, everybody. Cooper Naylor here with you, giving you coverage of the All-State Sugar Bowl. Originally, was not going to bring you this game, but after the tragic event that took place, the horrific terror attack down there on the French Quarter. This game was moved back a day, and we are bringing it to you now. So 4th and 7, as that will take a Notre Dame bounce after the punt. So it will be Georgia ball, and here comes Gunnar Stockton for the Georgia Bulldogs. Last possession, I mean, they had a great drive going. Gunnar Stockton looked like he was confident. It was just turning the ball over by Trevor Etienne. Right here, I would say if you're Georgia, you got to get something for Gunnar Stockton here. You got to score just to get to get some confidence on that offensive side. If you're Notre Dame's defense, keep doing what you're doing. I think you're doing a great job here early, so keep on bringing the pressure. Make it tough on Stockton. Make it real tough. Either way, we're back. All right, welcome back, everybody. Cooper Naylor here with you, bringing you coverage of the All-State Sugar Bowl. Of course, we're still waiting for a national broadcast to come back from commercial, so let's take another commercial and be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. So, of course, later tonight, like I told you, we are going to announce our schedule of games that we're planning on bringing to you for the UFL. But this game so far, yeah, exactly. There has not been very much offense at all. But we'll see right here what goes on. So here we go. Here is a snap for Stockton. Looking deep. He got hit, but it's caught down the sideline, Arian Smith. That is going to be 1st and goal for the Dogs. And just when we were asking for some offense, there you have it. Now a flag. But I'm thinking this is going to be on this Notre Dame defense for that late hit on Gunnar Stockton. He had already released the ball, and he got hammered. And Arian Smith, what a catch. That is a perfect pass put right in the hands of Arian Smith. What a play. And that's the type of throws that Gunnar Stockton, that'll bring his confidence up. And that's Bowen on the Notre Dame defense who hit. And so now we'll see. And they're saying that it's a penalty on Georgia. Of course, Georgia fans are not happy, but let's. Okay, so it's on. So there's a number 39 for Georgia on that sideline who slowed down the official. I'm not exactly sure who that is, but that's who got the penalty. So here's a run for Trevor Etienne, and he'll pick up a few yards right there. Second down for the Dogs. So that pushed them back to about the 27-yard line a second ago. Of course, now it's second down and about 8 or 9. Great. I mean, yeah, they just had Matt Austin on to explain. Yeah, definitely a good call. So here we go. Here's Stockton handing it off. And a short carry for Dylan Bell. So it's going to be third down for Georgia. It's Jones. He definitely. So I believe it may be a guy. I think maybe his name's Perry Jones. Maybe I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to look this up real quick just to show you who it is. My roster that I got here, I'm having a hard time finding him. So I'll find. Here's Stockton throwing, and that's incomplete, out of bounds. Um, so I'm gonna get the name of this player. No, I think it's Parker Jones. I believe that is the guilty party on that call for a second ago with the official. Yeah, Parker Jones, number 39. So here we go. It's fourth down. Peyton Woodring, the kicker for the Bulldogs, will come out to kick this field goal 41 yards away. This one is up. This one is good. And so we have our first points of the ball game, folks. The Georgia Bulldogs take a 3-0 lead here early. And so 12-14 to go in the second quarter, and Georgia strikes first. So a great kick right there by Woodring. So of course, that throw by Stockton, though, to Arian Smith, it was incredible. Of course, it seemed like that after the penalty by Parker Jones on the sideline, that definitely made him maybe just kind of killed the momentum that they had there for a moment. So they had to kick a field goal. 3-0 Georgia. We'll definitely wait and see what happens throughout the remainder of this ball game. But for now, let's go to a commercial break and we'll be right back. All right, everybody. So, of course, Georgia kicks a field goal, and so that's what they score at the moment. So, of course, we got ourselves an interesting ball game. It's definitely a defensive football game between these two. But Stockton, like I said a while ago, and I mean, I hate to reiterate it, but I feel like that throw to Arian Smith definitely got him a little bit of momentum. Now he did get hit on the throw, but I do think it got him a little bit of confidence. Like, hey, here we are. Finally, let's settle down. Let's get into this ball game. And I feel like it was a great throw. It was an incredible throw for him. So, of course, here we are. All right, here is the kickoff. And Notre Dame will have it, as that will go into the back of the end zone. So, of course, next week will be the semifinals. Thursday night. Next Thursday night will be the Orange Bowl. Penn State waiting on the winner of this game. And then the Cotton Bowl, which would be next Friday night, 6:30 Central Time, between Ohio State and Texas. Notre Dame first time trailing since October 19th against Georgia Tech in the second quarter. So here is Riley Leonard rolling to his right. That one will be complete. And that right there is Jordan Faison with the catch. Great catch right there. Of course, Notre Dame not in too much of a hurry. They realized that they got a lot of time to work with, so don't have to rush. Riley Leonard, of course, he's got his running back. He had Jeremiah Love to his left, sends him out wide, so he's all on the backfield. Takes the snap. It's a quarterback design run. First down for the Irish. So a great job right there. So, of course, clock continues to move. 11.5 to go before halftime. And speaking of halftime, we are going to show the last little bit of our New Year's Eve special in case you missed it. So that is what's coming up at halftime. Here's a run, and that gets a few yards. And that's Jadarian Price getting the carry. He picks about 3 or 4. So it's going to be second down for Notre Dame. And Jadarian Price is a guy on the season. He had 6.8 yards per carry. That's fourth among Power 4 running backs. That is interesting that they're counting Notre Dame in the Power 4. Of course, in football, they're independent. Most other sports, they play in the ACC. As here is Riley Leonard taking off. Nobody's got him so far, and he's down to about the 28, 29-yard line on Georgia's side of the football field. And that is a 29-yard run for the quarterback from Mobile, Alabama. And what a run. He began his career at Duke. And once Elko left for Texas A&M, this previous offseason, he said he was leaving too. So he went to Notre Dame, replacing Sam Hartman, and they find themselves in the playoff. Here's Leonard handing it off to Jadarian Price, who's going to pick up a few yards on that carry. Second down for the Irish. And yeah, they're showing they missed a face mask call. Definitely missed a face mask on Georgia. Of course, I mean, they must have missed it in real time action. I mean, I guess that was a hard look, but either way, 9:10 to go in the second quarter. Leonard takes a snap. He's looking, throwing. That one's incomplete as he was looking for Jaden Thomas. Jaden Thomas looking for a flag, not going to get it. Great job on Georgia to defend that. 3rd and 7. And Georgia's very physical, and it's very, I think that's believe that's Everett who got the deflection. Yeah, Dalen Everett. Very physical type of defense. Of course, he was the MVP of the SEC championship game with 2 interceptions. As here is a catch right there made. But going back to the line of scrimmage, that's Jaden Greathouse. So that's 4th down, and Notre Dame will be forced to have to take a field goal here as the clock goes under 9 minutes before halftime. 4th and 7 right there for the Irish. So here is the kicker. This is Mitch Jeter. He's 8 of 15 on the season. He was 2 of 3 against Indiana. This is 44 yards away. Good snap, clean hold. This kick is up. This kick is good. So Notre Dame will tie the ball game at 3 apiece here in this second quarter. Well, folks, if you are a fan of good, clean, old-fashioned defensive football, then this is your type of ball game. It's 3-3 with under 9 minutes to go before halftime. So we'll see you on the other side of this break. All right, everybody, getting our halftime put together right quick. Just, try and get the video pulled up and ready to go. So, all right. So, of course, I got the video ready for halftime. Also, while I'm at break for halftime, I will get a trivia question prepared and ready to go. So, of course, we'll get that ready as well. So very excited. So we will see what Georgia's got to do here on this drive. I got to say, Notre Dame had a pretty nice drive on offense. Georgia, when it mattered most, they stopped them. So, and forced a field goal. So, we'll see what Georgia can do on this drive. Going to be big to see what Cash Jones is back out there. I think Dylan Bell came back in the game as well a minute ago, if I'm correct. So here we go. Mitch Jeter to kick it away for the Irish. The 12-1 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. As there is the kick, and it will be Georgia football, as that will land in the end zone. So here comes Gunnar Stockton and the Georgia offense. Of course, later tonight, after this ball game, there is a bowl game, the Gator Bowl, but we don't plan to bring that to you. We haven't been covering any of the bowl games just because other than the college football playoff, I just don't see any of these other ball games meaning much. So here we go. Stockton's got a running back to his right. He had a man in motion. Stockton takes the snap. He's looking to throw. Got some pressure behind him. He's going down. What a play. And I'm not even going to attempt to say this guy's name because I believe it's Tui Halamaka. I believe that's his name. But what a play getting Gunner Stockton down. And here's the thing is that Stockton, he never saw Tui Halamaka. Never saw him. He came right behind the quarterback. That's the second sack of the day. Here we go. Stockton going to throw it across the middle. That's caught. And that's Oscar Delp. First down, Dogs. That's a 2nd and 18 that Stockton will convert that on. Of course, Oscar Delp making the majority of the play. So Stockton today, 8 and 9 for 131. And an injury out on the field. So Watts is the player down for the Irish. And Georgia fans, they were booing because they felt that it was one of those fake injury situations that we saw all season long where players would fake being hurt in order to stop the game. So we'll see what Georgia can do on offense when we return. All right. Welcome back, everybody. So, of course, we are here in the second quarter, 3-3. Georgia driving down the football field. Of course, we'll have trivia question coming up at the beginning of the third quarter. We'll probably leave the trivia question on the screen like we normally do until the end of the third quarter, and then we will reveal the answer as we go into the fourth quarter. That gives us a little something to talk about and something to, while we're at break, kind of something to fill the air a little bit. Like I said before, halftime's coming up. And so that'll be look back at our New Year's Eve special as we continue looking at it. So here we go. 3-3, Georgia with the football. Here's a carry, and this one is ETN. That's a nice carry right there. I'd say about 7 or 8 yards right there. Great run by Trevor Etienne. And you could see right there as far as when he gets some space, he can really make some damage. Fakes the handoff, and Stockton will be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. So definitely, Notre Dame definitely watched the tape from from the SEC championship game. And they know Stockton wants to run, but they're not allowing him to do that. 3rd and 3. Georgia tonight, they are 2 of 5 on 3rd down. So we'll see what they can do. 3rd and 3. They got 4 wide. There's one running back to the right of Stockton. Stockton looking to throw. He's going to throw across the middle. And that one's jarred free at the end. He was looking for Dominic Lovett. And that is a great stop. And the ball was just slightly behind his receiver. And so you got to put that right in, either ahead or right in the chest of Lovett. So here we go. Drew Miller out to punt. Max Hurlman will be back to receive the punt for Notre Dame. Of course, Miller, his first 2 punts were, you had the running into the kicker penalty both times. So here we go, Notre Dame football, as it'll be a return for Hurlman, and he'll get back to the 25. And that is all. So 5:38 to go before halftime. There's a lot of time for Riley Leonard to go down and take his offense down the field and get a touchdown. But keep in mind, there's also a whole lot of time, too, for Georgia to get a stop and get the ball back and possibly score as well. So there's a lot that can happen here in this 5:38 here before halftime. Of course, Notre Dame will begin with the football in the second half. So that is big to see. How do they manage the clock here? They could potentially make this the final drive of the half if they want to. But here's Leonard looking to throw. He's got a man wide open, and that is face on. That's a first down, and that's about 13 yards on the catch. Great job by face on. So, of course, clock will continue to move a little bit. Leonard, this throw, he has all the time in the world to throw from the pocket, and face on is right there to catch the ball. So here we go. 1st and 10, face on, 3 receptions, 34 yards in this ball game so far. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Here's a carry, and this is Jeremiah Love. He'll probably get 2 yards, and he is stopped by one of those big linebackers for the Dogs. Big number 3, that's C.J. Allen, the linebacker. So here we go, 2nd and 8 for Notre Dame. So here we go, 4.5, clock ticking. Notre Dame just content letting the clock move. Leonard takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. That looks like Jeremiah Love once again, or maybe, yeah, it is Love. It's Jeremiah Love. I had to make sure. But he gets a few yards on that carry. So 3rd down. This is going to be big. 3rd and 3. Can Georgia's defense get off the field? So here we go. One running back to the right of Leonard. Sends a man to motion. That is Bo Collins. Here's Leonard getting some pressure. He's going to have to get rid of the football. He does. And it's out of bounds after being tipped. 4th and 3. And now interesting, would Marcus Freeman consider going for it? And that is just great pursuit right there. That is number 11, Jalen Walker, the linebacker, who is just bringing all the heat on Riley Leonard. So Anthony Evans to return the punt of James Rendell. Here is the punt. It's away, and it'll be Georgia football. So a 3.5 to go. Anthony Evans will take a fair catch. They will start from about the 14-yard line. But we'll see what Georgia can do. Possibly, I mean, if you're Georgia, you definitely want to go down and get some points because you're not going to get the ball to begin the second half. So definitely you would like to go down, put something on the board, and then possibly make a stop in the second half, get it back, and then you can take full control of this ball game. Now, if you're Notre Dame, there's time where you could get a stop, get a 3 and out, get the football back, and then you would have a chance to possibly put some points up before halftime yourself. So 3:32 to go. Stockton, he's got a running back to his right. They've got 4 receivers wide. Stockton looking to throw. He's going to throw it. That one's incomplete as he was looking for his receiver, or his tight end, rather, Lawson Lucky, the sophomore. And that's just good coverage being played by that Notre Dame defensive back. And that's just great defense right there. Gunnar Stockton today, 8 of 11 for 130. I keep showing his stats, so I just keep reading it off to you. Here we go. Stockton, play fake. Looking to throw. That one's out of bounds. Again, looking for Lawson Lucky. It's a 3rd and 10. And for Notre Dame, this drive so far for Georgia has only lasted 9 seconds. So if you can get another stop, if you're Notre Dame, you can get the ball, take the clock, and then go and possibly put some points up on the board for halftime and really take an advantage, and then go score in the second half and really take advantage of this ball game and keep it in your control. So here we go. Here is Stockton rolling to his right. Got some pressure. Not going to have to get rid of the football. And that'll be thrown out of bounds. So 3 passes, 3 incompletions, 4th and 10 for the Dogs. That's only 16 seconds taken off the clock. And I think Notre Dame, that's a win for them as they're going to get the football. And I mean, you can tell right now that Stockton definitely looks to be like there's a lot of pressure being put on him from that Notre Dame defense. I mean, I think so far, I love the defensive game plan. So there's the punt from Drew Miller. And this one will be fair caught. So Hurlman with the fair catch, 3:09. So there's still a whole lot of time if you are Notre Dame to really go and make something special happen here. So 6-3 could be 6-3, it could be 10-3, but Notre Dame has a chance to go score something and really, take a lead. Right now, of course, they're looking at the NFL playoff scenarios. I don't know why they're talking about the NFL, but either way. So here we go. Here's the snap. Riley Leonard hands it off to Jordan Faison, who will get a few yards right there. Be second down for the Irish. So clock will move. Notre Dame just happy to run some clock. So here we go. 2:40 to go. Jordan Faison, 2024 NCAA champion in lacrosse, scored a goal, I believe, in that game. Here's Leonard going to throw, and that one's caught by Jaden Greathouse. I believe that's Jaden Greathouse. Wow. They're showing some highlights of Jordan Faison playing lacrosse. He's pretty good. Not bad. 3rd and 1 for the Irish. And 2-minute timeout is here. So Notre Dame, when we return, they will have a 3rd and 1 to convert and continue this drive. We'll see you in a minute. Two-minute timeout still in effect right now. Notre Dame has a chance to add on and take the lead in this ball game as there's 2 minutes left before halftime. We are going to go to another commercial break, and we'll see you on the other end. And here we go. Here's a run. First down for Notre Dame. So that is what we were wondering. That is Riley Leonard pushing ahead. So 1:45 to go. For halftime. So here we go. Here is Leonard looking to throw. He's going to take off and run again. He's got a first down. So Notre Dame has a chance to add on as they are nearly at the range for Mitch Jeter. And Georgia's defense, they're not accounting for the fact that Riley Leonard can run. Here's Leonard again looking to throw. He's going to lob it up there and incomplete, too far for his receiver. That was Bo Collins, who is being targeted by Riley Leonard. So that'll be 2nd and 10 for the Irish. 1:14 to go in the half. So we'll see what Notre Dame can do right here. So here we go. Leonard, 2nd and 10. They need to get about 5 yards to get in the field goal range. Leonard, and they will get that right there with their tight end. That is Mitchell Evans. And believe he got out of bounds. That's the reason why the clock has stopped. They gave him the first down, but I got a feeling like that was short. Either way, can't do anything now as Riley Leonard's going down for the sack outside of field goal range. And Georgia's been looking for a sack all day long, and there is Smile Munden to get it. And this is just a great defensive scheme, getting all their the guys up on the line to shift around and really confuse this Notre Dame offensive line. And Leonard knows you can't have that. So second down now, 56 seconds to go for the Irish. Leonard knows he probably should have just thrown that ball away. And so first timeout called for by Notre Dame right there. So we'll see what they can do. Second and 21 for the Irish. So they are out of Jeter's range at the moment. Definitely going to try to get in his range. So here we go. 56 seconds to go. Second and 21 for the Irish. Here before halftime at the Sugar Bowl. Leonard takes the snap. He's going to take off and run with it himself. Back into field goal range. And he gets back to about where he was. It's a 10-yard carry for Riley Leonard. So third and 11, and there is a stoppage of play. One of the defensive players for Georgia, his helmet came off. So here we go. Third and 11. We'll see what Notre Dame can do here. Preferably just so you can run a little bit more clock. You definitely want to get this first down, but this is an 8-play, 32-yard drive, 2:20 taken off the clock. So here we go. Leonard takes a snap. He's looking. He's going to throw. That one was a low pass and incomplete. 4th and 11, and now Notre Dame will be forced to have to take a long field goal for their kicker, Mitch Jeter. I believe this will be like a 47-yard kick. So this is a long field goal. He made from 44 earlier tonight. This is from 48. So here we go. And Georgia will take a timeout. They're going to try to ice the kicker. So far, what you've seen in this ball game is simple as this. Both defenses have come to play, and I believe the offenses, there's been some positive plays if you look at the standpoint of Gunnar Stockton for Georgia, making some positive plays. Riley Leonard, I like that both quarterbacks are very mobile. They can make some plays, but it's really just come down to this. Both defenses have played pretty good football here of late. So 3-3 ball game, 43 seconds. Notre Dame's going to be forced to take a 48-yard field goal with Mitch Jeter. Let's see if he can get it. So 48 yards. Here is the snap. It is good, and the kick is good. The kick is straight down the middle. Notre Dame takes a 6-3 lead. So Georgia put the first 3 up on the board, and Notre Dame has answered with 6 of their own. And Marcus Freeman excited. 6-3 Notre Dame. But you got to keep in mind, there's 38 seconds. If Georgia plays it right, they could potentially get something on this drive. Mitch Jeter, of course, transferred from South Carolina. He was born and raised from Salisbury, North Carolina. So here we go. Georgia, depending on what they do, that's 39 seconds to go. Georgia has a chance. They can go down and tie this ball game at halftime. But we'll see what they can do. But 39 seconds, a lot of time for this Georgia football team, as there is the kick. And so Georgia will have it. Here is Gunnar Stockton. So Stockton today, I would say not a bad first half. I mean, considering it's his first career start. I mean, I think he's done a good job today. Probably so far the highlight of Stockton's day today is that big throw to Arian Smith. Only downside for Stockton, he started 7 of 7. He's 1 for 6 after that. Stockton loses the ball, and Notre Dame's got it. He went to throw, and his arm was hit, and it's Notre Dame football. So now Notre Dame has a chance to add on to their lead here before halftime. Disaster for the Dogs. And really, it's just this defense for Notre Dame. That's R.J. Oben who gets the arm of Stockton. And that is Tui Halamaka with the recovery. Second turnover for the Dogs today. Notre Dame's taken away the ball 31 times. That leads the FBS. So here we go from the 13-yard line. Riley Leonard and the Notre Dame offense comes out here at the end of the first half for Leonard. Fakes the handoff. He's looking to throw. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame. And it's Jordan Faison, 13 yards. And like that, it was 3-3 just 15 seconds ago in game action. And all of a sudden, it is a 9-point Notre Dame lead, and they're going to get the ball to begin the second half. Wow. And the extra point is up and good for the Irish. 13-3. And it's just a play action, easy pass for Leonard. They were bringing the rush. And actually, it was Bo Collins with the touchdown. Just a great throw by Leonard in the end zone. Great pass, touchdown. And Notre Dame has a 10-point lead. They're still, and I mean, I want to stress this, there's still time for those of you who are Georgia fans. There's still time for Georgia to go down and get either a field goal or somehow get a touchdown. But there's a chance. 10 points in 11 seconds for Notre Dame. That is incredible. So here we go, 27 seconds. We will see what Georgia can do here as there's the kick. Georgia will begin at the 25. 27 seconds. Notre Dame this season, 148 points off of turnovers. That's the most in FBS by 42 points. That is ridiculous. So here we go. 27 seconds. Gunnar Stockton's going to have a chance to take the Dogs down the field and possibly get a field goal. Field goal's most likely. Here we go. Here's the the handoff to Trevor Etienne. Now to get a few yards right there, and it looks like Kirby may hit, and Kirby just looks like he's willing to just let this clock go. Here's Stockton right before halftime. He's going to throw it to ETN. Clock has run out, and he'll go out of bounds. So Notre Dame will get the second half kickoff. And so I don't think that's the way Kirby wanted the first half to end. But if you're Marcus Freeman, this Notre Dame offense and defense, like this whole team for Notre Dame, this is what you want. You're in the Sugar Bowl. You have a chance to take down the Georgia Bulldogs here in New Orleans. Well, folks, it is halftime. It is time to go to our halftime show. And as you can see, it is a clip from our New Year's Eve special. So take a look. Did you get to see much of the Penn State Boise State game just a minute ago? And secondly, what did you thought?
Nope, I chose. Well, I watched a little bit in and out. With how the other games have been, I just chose not to watch too much of it. But seeing the result, I was actually pleasantly surprised by how close it was. But I think when we get into the top four, that's when I'm gonna start really paying attention. But as of right now, I was just hoping Ashton Jennings could carry them, but he didn't. He didn't play too well, did he? He played okay.
Well,
For his standards, bad.
for his standards, it was bad.
Mhm.
But I mean, Penn State's defense, I think, really zoned in on trying to stop Ashton Genty.
Mhm.
That was their game plan.
Well, I mean, if you stop Ashton Jennings, you stop the whole team because he is the team.
Right. And I mean, I thought their passing game did decently, but I mean, that's just not their identity.
Mhm.
It was Ashton Genty run the football. That's Boise State.
Mhm.
But
Yep. But Penn State, of what I saw, Penn State played well, and that tight end, he's scary.
he's going to be good.
He's been hard to beat.
I mean, I said it while doing the game. If there's two teams that you can always count on having a really good tight end, Penn State and Iowa, most of the Big Ten, they always have good.
And Michigan, like most.
I forgot about Michigan.
Like every 2-3 years, Michigan will have a good one. Georgia has not had a bad tight end in like 5 years.
That's
They
true.
had Darnell Washington, Brock Bowers, and then they had 2 or 3 this year. Lawson Lucky and what's his name? Was he a sophomore? What was his name?
Oh, I can't remember.
Anyway, they had 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So they were pretty good. I still think Georgia's winning it all, but I wouldn't be shocked if Penn State actually wins it after watching how they played, but I don't know. Georgia's scary. I don't know.
The one thing that I mean, if I am sitting here thinking about Penn State, the one thing that kind of makes me worried about them is Drew Out because some throws are like incredible, and he's like where he puts the ball, it's just incredible. But then you have these sidearm throws where it's like way out of the hands of his receiver, like nowhere for his receiver to go get it. So just
Well, I mean, I see what you're saying. Oh, Happy New Year, Chris Naylor. Happy New Year. But I don't know. I think he's okay. If you're fussing with some of the decision making of him, then you need to watch Ohio State because that quarterback, Will Howard, he makes the worst. He's terrible. I mean, not okay, if he makes a good decision, he's great. But like the Oregon game, he ruined that game. There was 4 or 5 like towards the end of the game, there were 4 or 5 different plays that he just like he didn't have to mess them up, and he did. So I think you saw it like the last play of that Oregon game. Um, there's like 3 seconds left. Instead of throwing the ball away, um, he went to try to scramble and got sacked. So
Yeah.
it's just not really good decision making. So I mean, if you're gonna say that about Drew Aller, you kind of just they kind of describes like 4 or 5. And like Notre Dame's quarterback, he doesn't make good decisions. He's probably one of the worst in the playoff. I still think Gunnar Stockton might be better than people think, but I don't know.
So you said you think Georgia is going to win it all.
I think so. If not Georgia, either Ohio State or Oregon. But Penn State they're currently like at first I thought they were a little overrated, but so far they've handled business pretty well. But it's just gonna depend. They just have to show up. As long as their running backs are great, they have great tight end, great defense. I like their quarterback. I don't see what's like they check all the boxes. I don't see many issues with them. As for I see tons of issues with Notre Dame. Oregon's missing their quarterback. Like I said, I think Gunnar Stockton's be better than people think. Ohio State has a lot of problems at coaching, their quarterbacks, and but then Ohio State probably has the best receiver room out of all in the playoff,
Yeah.
and they have great running backs. So I don't think if Ohio State plays well, they should win it all. They have the most talent, but they're not going to. I'd be shocked if they beat Oregon by more than like a field goal or you know touchdown. Oregon's the one team that I'm just like kind of counting out because I feel like Oregon's kind of like how Texas was last year. Like they're in there and they're obviously good, but I just don't see them going far. They're kind of just in there, just being there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Texas hasn't played no one. Texas will beat Arizona State. But whoever they go against next, they're done for.
Yeah. Well, and that brings me to a question. What did you think about the format when it came to seeding these teams? And then, secondly, if you didn't agree with the way they formatted it, how should they? How if they go back to the drawing board, after the playoff is over, what are you changing?
I mean, what do you mean by formatting? Like
Okay, you have the top four conference
oh,
champions get a bye, and then Clemson is the fifth highest ranked champion, but they don't get a bye. They get to the 12th seed, which I mean you kind of can't help that.
okay.
But they get a 12 seed. How if we're doing top five conference champions, don't you want to put Clemson at 5 by that logic? Why are they at 12 and all the other four conference champions are in the top four seeds?
So I don't. Okay, I like that you're rewarding the conference champions, but it's super unfair for like a Notre Dame or I don't know. I just feel like adding the group of 5 in there, and then it just feels like they're being inclusive while also just ignoring Notre Dame. Because how it is right now, Notre Dame will never be able to have a bye, which is dumb. But like a team like Army, if they could have played a little better, Army could have had a bye this season. You know, like if a few different things happen. So I just don't understand. If you're going, I don't know. Maybe if you did 'cause, it's a tough thing to decide on. It should I feel like adding the conference champions in there kinda makes confusion for it, because you just said the top 12 highest ranked teams, then, there would've been no, confusion. Like, it would've been, the top 12 teams,
Right.
and then it would've eliminated Boise State would've been in there, obviously, but they wouldn't have been as high. Boise State
Right.
would've played against a better team, and they would've had the bye. It's just
The only thing that would have been different, Alabama would have got the 11th seed.
mhm.
Arizona State would be 12th.
And
So Clemson You just basically swap Alabama and Clemson. That's just the only change you have from if you went from the
Yeah,
guaranteed
but seeding
to
would change.
yeah.
Like, Arizona State would not have been as high.
Arizona State would be the 12th seed.
Mhm. So, like and I feel like that's a good way to do it because then it gives Notre Dame, a bit of an advantage. Because Notre Dame deserves an advantage. One loss, even though their loss is probably one of the worst in the whole playoff, one loss is, impressive. But I just don't feel like I like the 4 teams, and I was not, like, opposed to 6 teams or 8 teams, but 12 teams just feels kinda dumb because you put yourself in that position where, like, it's even more confusing than just 4. Because, like, if you leave, like you're gonna have a 3-loss team in every year. You're gonna have every team's gonna have, like, 2 losses. I mean, it just feels like it's just a lot more to have to, like, think about, and, like, obviously, it hasn't been working well because all the games have been bad. Like, when your closest game is still, like, what, a 13? Like, it's still, like, a big, like, deficit. It just kinda shows you that putting these teams that should not have a bye in a bye just kinda makes it hard. Like, it's just unfair to, like, the teams that deserve a bye and then don't get it. But I don't know.
All right. Well, here is this is the website from the college football playoff where it has the rankings. So this is just what it would have been. You would have had Oregon, Georgia, Texas, and Penn State get the byes, and then you would have had Notre Dame hosting Arizona State, Ohio State hosting Alabama, Tennessee hosting SMU, Indiana hosting Boise State.
These are better games. But was it Notre Dame versus Arizona State would have been Notre Dame blowout, easy. Ohio State, Bama, and look, okay, the thing today with Bama losing to Michigan is basically just Milrow a bunch of like back as a third string. Um, and it was Michigan, pretty much Michigan's normal team, but without all their draft players. Which I mean, say what you will, but both teams were underpowered. It was kind of just a nothing game, and I mean that's what bowl games are. Like I still wish that bowl games were a big deal, but I don't know. But if you had like fully like all like Bama actually trying, they would have still had Justice Haynes. They would have had all those other guys who are transferring and all. Like that would have been a good game. Ohio State, Alabama. I
So,
think Ohio State would probably end up winning, but not by a lot. But they probably
right.
would have won. Tennessee SMU is not a terrible. It's better than Penn State SMU, I guess.
I think Tennessee would have won the game.
Tennessee would have easily won, and Indiana Boise State would have been a really fun game.
That I do agree.
I think
Indiana,
Boise State would have won though,
yeah.
but that would have been a fun game.
Especially, I mean, because it would be both teams are acclimated to the colder weather. So I mean, you got Ashton Jeanty, trying to cut through that defense of Indiana. That would be cool.
But it's so dumb that Bama's ranked over Miami though. But I don't know.
How
I just don't like the idea of 3 loss being in. But I mean, I understand it because they do technically have a better wins, but loss wise, they have worse losses. So I don't know. Um, then again, something that was good about this year is that you didn't have everyone crying about the media loving Bama or the media hating a certain team.
Yeah.
Like the playoff, there was like almost no one fussing about who got out and all. Besides, the people who are just diehard Bama fans who are gonna say they deserve being in no matter what, like you. But
oh, goodness.
but no, I don't think like I think this year's playoff is very telling, but I don't think this as bad as it could have been. Like, we coulda got way worse. Although we didn't get great, but we could got way worse.
Right.
And a lot comes down to the SEC kinda messed themselves up by scheduling all the, like, tough games. Then they give Texas and Georgia the easy schedules. Of course, they got in because they had super
Well,
easy
okay. First of all,
schedules.
Georgia, you got to give them credit.
Georgia
They played. They. I mean,
I mean,
honestly,
they played
other than Florida, they played the toughest schedule in college football.
okay, they played the four of probably the better SEC teams: Bama, Texas, Tennessee, and Ole Miss. Great. Then after that, they didn't play anyone.
They played Clemson out of conference. that
Clemson.
Clemson made the playoffs. So I mean, you can't really sit there and
Okay,
say, "Hey, that's a bad."
okay, I'll give you Clemson. But, like, other than those games, I know that's a lot of good games, but, like, they just had a bunch of gimme games, and my thing is, most teams okay, like, Ole Miss had like, a way tougher schedule. South Carolina had a tougher schedule. Like, there's these teams who, like, you take away, like, 2 or 3 games, that would've been in the playoffs, which, I mean, you can say about a lot of teams, but get like, okay, when the problem with the SEC is they give each like, they just beat each other up. Every team has, like, 6 tough games out of 12, and then, like, they'll win 3 or 4, and then they'll lose the rest,
Yeah.
of, like, the tough games. And then they'll lose games that they shouldn't have. Like, Ole Miss lost to Kentucky, they shouldn't have lost that game.
Yeah.
And lost to Florida, shouldn't have lost that game. But, it's just I don't know. The SEC just doesn't schedule games. Um, they don't schedule them thinking about the playoff, they schedule them thinking about, "Oh, we're the toughest conference, so we'll prove how tough we are," And it doesn't really help your case when you only have 3 teams in the playoff and you could have very well had 6 or 7,
Yeah.
but beating yourself like and part of the problem is, like, they all lost to teams they shouldn't have. Like, Bama 1 week beats Georgia, next week Vandy goes to Vandy. Um, Georgia lost to Ole Miss. Ole Miss lost to Kentucky. Tennessee lost to Arkansas is probably the worst of those losses because at least Vandy was, like they tried, I guess. Like, Tennessee, that whole Arkansas game just looked like they were just sleepwalking, you know?
Yeah.
And then, and, like, teams that I thought were gonna be, like, big deals going to the season, like Missouri, um but there's just, like, Missouri, Virginia Tech, Michigan was a big one. But there are just all these little like Arizona, Utah, and I know Utah had a bunch of injuries, but all these teams that people were hyping up to be like playoff teams ended up winning like 6, 7 games,
Yeah.
and then like it was just disappointing. And there are these teams that no one wanted to see be good, like Illinois, and I liked Indiana, but like going into the season, I don't think anyone wanted to see those teams be good or be in the playoff, and here we are.
Yeah.
I know Illinois wasn't, but it just felt like a weird year.
Yeah. Well, we got just under 13 minutes, Colton, until New Year.
Mhm.
So, I know you got your YouTube channel. Um, what kind of goals do you have set out for your channel?
I don't know about goals. I'm just trying to post stuff and have fun with it. I guess I'm like 5 subscribers away from 400, so I guess trying to get to like 420 maybe. 420 is a bad number.
Oh boy.
Let's say 430, just avoid 420.
Okay.
Let's say 430. I guess I could do that. You're trying to hit how many this year?
Well, I mean, I tried to hit 100.
You're 2 away. You'll hit that next year by end of January.
Well, said I basically said once the 11 o'clock hour started that basically um I'll say by February 1st,
February. You should hit that by like January 20 something.
hopefully.
But once you hit 100, what's your next goal? 120? 125?
Well, I mean,
You can hit 125
I haven't set a subscriber goal. What I'm saying is I hope I post a
every day.
video every single day of the year.
That's not too bad. I hope you're that.
Yeah. Well, we are so
11
close.
minutes.
Yeah, I know.
What if the whole world, like all the power in the world shuts down at 12? Be kind of weird.
That would.
Like Y2K.
Oh no. So here's a comment Chris had a while ago. I missed it. He said if Stetson Bennett can win Natty, so could Gunnar Stockton.
I agree. Georgia's just good. Georgia is good at having bad quarterbacks, or like not elite quarterbacks at least. like, they're elite quarterbacks in the sense that they're good. Like, they're 5 stars, they're good and all. But, like, compared to, like okay, was, like, Jake Fromm, he was good. But was Jake Fromm, like he like, compared to, like, other people who were, like, in the SEC at the same time or, like, just in football, like, you had Tua, you had Jalen Hur or not Jalen yeah, Jalen Hurts, there's Joe Burrow, there's tons of other SEC quarterbacks. So, like, and Stetson
And welcome back, everybody. Second half getting ready to kick off here in just a moment. But just wanted to give you a quick look at the bracket as you see it. As you can see, Notre Dame leads 13-3 here at halftime. Of course, winner of this ball game will head to the Orange Bowl to face off against Penn State, who play Tuesday night. You saw it here on the channel. So definitely going to be interesting to see how the remainder of this game goes. Georgia, can they get back in this ball game? We will have to wait and see. That is a question that I think we are all wondering. So there's your score right there between Georgia and Notre Dame, 13-3. So while we have a moment, let's go ahead and get your trivia question. So, and we'll answer it at the beginning of in between the third and fourth quarter. But who leads the series between Georgia and Notre Dame? That is our trivia question. I'll leave it up, as it looks like it is about time for the second half. Notre Dame will get the ball. Now, here's the question. If Notre Dame goes down and scores, it'll be interesting because this game may be over. So they are, Sean McDonough and Greg McElroy making a good point. Georgia has come back they've come back 7 times to win this season. So nothing new for Georgia, but this is the biggest game of the season. Not really where you want to be trying to come back and win a football game, to be completely honest. So we'll see if they can do it. But of course, this game, of course, moved to today because of the terror attack. The terror attack in New Orleans, Louisiana. So we are just waiting on the national broadcast for the kickoff of the second half. And there it is. As that ball will be fielded by Notre Dame as a little bit of a return, getting some space, getting down the sideline. Notre Dame has a chance to go. He will. Touchdown, Notre Dame. On the kickoff, Notre Dame with 39 seconds, I believe it was, in the second quarter. It was tied at 3 apiece. It's now 19-3. Wow. Jaden Harrison. Wow. Notre Dame like that. Wow. 19-3. The extra point is up, and it's good. So Georgia now has a long way to come now. You're down 17, your offense. Outside of Gunnar Stockton, I mean, you haven't had a lot. You got to have something here. You have got to get something going if you're Georgia. This has got to be the time to do it. Wow. 17 points in the last 58 seconds of gameplay. That is ridiculous. And all the Georgia fans are just stunned. So here we go. Mitch Jeter will kick it off. But my goodness. Notre Dame well in control. So here we go. "15 seconds in. And that one is returnable. Anthony Evans will get to about, it looks like the 20, and that's it. And Marcus Freeman having some fun on the sideline. So here we go. If Georgia's going to come back in this football game, they got to start now. So here we go. Man in motion. Here's Stockton going to hand it off. And that right there, nice little run. Looks like a first down for Arian Smith. But I think this is what Georgia needs. They need to just settle down. They need to settle down and get into the flow of this game. They've not scored a touchdown yet. They need one. They need one desperately. Here we go. Clock ticking. 1st and 10 here at the beginning of the third quarter. Man in motion for Stockton. He's looking, now flipping it out to Trevor Etienne. And Etienne, he's just got nowhere to go. He couldn't make up his mind where he wanted to go, and it's second down for Georgia. And I mean, Trevor Etienne, he thought he was going to get a little bit more space. But there's just nothing for him tonight. So here we go. 2nd and 8 for the Dogs. 13:35 to go in the third quarter. Stockton sends a man in motion. Takes the snap. He's looking. Now going to throw it deep. Got a man and incomplete. Looking for Dylan Bell. And no flags as Bell's looking for a defensive pass interference. I mean, I can't blame him here. But it looks like there's a little bit of hand fighting between both of them. Who knows? That may have just a little bit too far of a throw. They're 2 of 7 tonight on third downs. So 3rd and 8 for the Dogs. And the play clock's out. And Georgia burn a timeout. And Georgia has to burn a timeout. They're down 17 here in the Sugar Bowl. Folks, if they don't score here, this is going to get out of hand. We'll see you on the other side of this commercial break. Alrighty, everybody, welcome back. Game still at a commercial break, but 20-3. So, of course, our trivia question: who leads the series between Georgia and Notre Dame? If you have an answer, put it in the chat. It's because it's an interesting answer. All I will say is, depending on the result today of this ball game, there could be a big change in this series record. So we will see what the answer is here at the end of the third quarter. But right now, if this score holds, all 4 teams that got a bye would be eliminated in the quarterfinal round. That is crazy to think about, especially when you consider the fact Oregon had the best regular season. They were undefeated, and they got beat the way they did Ohio State yesterday. Definitely a shift here in college football. It's a big shift, and man, it is crazy to think about. So here we go, 3rd and 8 for the Dogs. Notre Dame has all the momentum right now. Can Georgia get something going? Here is Stockton. Got pressure. Going to throw it to his running back, and that's Cash Jones. And he doesn't get anywhere near the first down line. It'll be 4th down. And most likely a punt for the Dogs. And we will see 4th and 4. And Drew Miller is out to punt again for Georgia. So here we go. Here's Miller. That punt is away. Notre Dame will get the ball. And that'll be fair catch called for. So, Georgia, crazy to think about. Penn State, of course, eliminated Boise State 31-14 in the advance to the semifinals. Texas, of course, escaped Arizona State in what is the best game so far of the playoff. Second overtime thriller, 39-31. then Ohio State, like I said, man, they crushed Oregon yesterday in the Rose Bowl, 41-21, and just what was a dominant performance. So here we go. 20-3, Notre Dame with the lead. They got the football, and here's Riley Leonard taking the snap, handing it off to Jeremiah Love, who will get about 2 yards, and that'll be all for him. Second down. So, of course, like we said before, the winner of this game will play next Thursday night at 6:30 against Penn State. And then, of course, if you win that game, they would go to the national championship game. So here we go, 2nd and 8 for the Irish. Man in motion for Leonard. Leonard takes a step back, throwing, and that one was tipped to the line of scrimmage and incomplete. So here we go, 3rd and 8 now. I will say this, Georgia's defense has not played terrible today. They've just been put in a couple of really bad positions that has led, they've only allowed 1 touchdown. It was a kick return that was the other touchdown. And other than that, they allowed 2 field goals. So, it's not like Notre Dame has given up. It's not like Georgia's defense has given up a lot of points. Like, they've not done bad. Here we go. Leonard, pressure, and he just throws that ball away. And now Georgia's offense will get the ball back. And that's what Georgia needs. But Georgia's defense, like I said, Georgia's defense is having themselves a game. It's just the offense has got to help their defense out. I think personally what would help is for Georgia to go on a scoring drive and possibly leave that defense on the sideline for a little bit, let them catch their breath. I think that would really help. So here we go, Rendell to punt. Be Georgia football, and this one's returnable for Anthony Evans. Stops for a second, and then he picks up maybe 5 or 6 yards on the punt. Wow. We will be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. 20-3, Georgia has the ball. We'll see what they can do here, as this is do or die time. If they don't score a touchdown here, then it is going to be really difficult to come back in this ball game. So again, if you are just joining us, our trivia question for today: who leads the series between Georgia and Notre Dame? If you have an answer, put it in the chat, and we'll see what your answer is. But for right now, we're going to take another short break, and we'll be right back. All right, here we go. It's Georgia football. And so we will see what they can do here. I mean, like I said, this is do or die time. They've got to get something going. So here we go, from the 37-yard line on their own side of the field. We'll see what they can do. So here we go. Stockton got a running back to his right. Arian Smith in motion. Here's the snap. Stockton looking. Gonna go deep. Got a man. It's go. He dropped it. Dylan Bell dropped it. And this has been something that has been a struggle of Georgia all season long, is drop passes. That right there, Stockton could not have put it in a better spot. That is right in the hands of Dylan Bell. If you are Dylan Bell, you have got to catch that ball. You got to catch it. That is 36 drops on the season for Georgia. That is the most in the FBS. That was right on the money. So here's Stockton again to throw. That one's caught. And Dominic Lovett with the catch right there. And so, still though, Dylan Bell, come on, you got to catch that if you're Georgia. And I believe that is what Kirby's telling them on the sideline. You gotta catch that ball. Even though Georgia has outgained in total yards, has outgained Notre Dame, it's the 2 turnovers that are killing Georgia today. So here we go. Here is the snap. And a few yards right there for the running back of Georgia. Looked like Trevor Etienne. So definitely, I don't think Kirby's too excited about this game right now. Georgia is scoring 33.2 points per game, 30 plus in 10 of the last 13 games. They've only got 3 right now. So what can they do? Here's Stockton. Looking, pressure, gets rid of it. It's the running back. And that's a first down. That's Nate Frazier. That is, maybe if you get a couple of these short passes going, I mean, that's a good little pass right there. You're getting pressure. Just get it to your check down. Great job by Stockton. He's 13 of 20 for 177 here tonight. Under 10 to go now. Here's Stockton. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and he's throwing it down the sideline. Cash Jones! Touchdown, Georgia! And there is your touchdown that you needed if you are Georgia. 32 yards. It's Cash Jones, the running back. And I can already know what these Georgia fans are saying. It is about time. And this is just a beautiful throw. Cash Jones, wide open. Stockton sees it. He has time in the pocket, and he gets it to Jones. That's his 3rd touchdown in the last 4 games, 2 total in first 10 games of the season. So now extra point to come. Extra point is up, and it is good. Georgia is back in this ball game. It is 20-10. We got a ball game, folks. Beautiful throw from Stockton. Cash Jones runs in. Touchdown. We will see you in a moment. All right, Georgia finally finds the end zone. It's Cash Jones. Now, both teams on offense has scored one touchdown, one offensive touchdown. Of course, the other touchdown for Notre Dame was that kick return. We will see what Notre Dame can do on offense when we return. All right, here we are, 20-10, Georgia. I know the Georgia fans were like, finally, we get a touchdown. But we will see. Can they get a defensive stop here and get the ball back? Here we go. There's a kick. And it will be Notre Dame football as that will go into the end zone. I think they learned after that kick return, do not kick it. Do not kick it short. Kick it into the end zone. It's 9:36 to go in the third quarter. We got a long way to go. But 1st and 10 for Riley Leonard and this Notre Dame offense that, quite frankly, hasn't been anything special today. But we'll see. 75 yards is how far Notre Dame's got to go for a touchdown. Leonard takes the snap. He's looking, pressure. He'll take off and run, and he lost the ball there at the end, but I don't think it's going to matter. It may have helped him gain a couple more yards. Of course, Mike Denbrock, offensive coordinator for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. 2nd and 7 for the Irish. Today, rush yards, they are out gaining Georgia on the ground 80-26. So we'll see if they go to the ground here. Fake the handoff. Leonard going to take off and run with it himself again. He'll get a few yards, but not much after that. So we got a 3rd down now. Georgia, you can almost feel the momentum shifting here as Georgia feels like they're starting to get a little bit of momentum. And that's scary when you got a team that I think there's a couple of players on this Georgia team that I'm pretty sure was a part of that championship team. Those 2 championship teams. They know what it's like to win a championship. So here we go. 5 yards is what Notre Dame needs right now. Here is Leonard throwing, caught. Mitchell Evans, 1st down. And that is just what Notre Dame needed. They needed to get a 1st down and continue this drive. And that is what Leonard just did, getting it to Mitchell Evans. Beautiful throw. And just wide open, Mitchell Evans. He's a number 7 tight end prospect for the 2025 NFL Draft, according to Mel Kiper Jr. He's got 3 receptions for 22 yards here today. Here's the snap. Here is the handoff to Jadarian Price, who gets to the outside, gets a little bit of space down inside of the 40. And now we got a flag on the field after the play is blown dead. So we'll see what that is all about. That is the first penalty flag we've seen in a while. And holding on Jaden Greathouse. So a great run by Jadarian Price taken off. because of a holding penalty. And yeah, that's obvious. That is a holding. Great House, he held on forever just to give enough space for Jadarian Price to get by. So here we go. So Notre Dame, and the officials are still trying to figure out where the ball is supposed to be placed. So here we go. 1st and 15 for Notre Dame. 7.5 to go in the third quarter. You can tell the Georgia fans are starting to get a little excited now. Man in motion. Here is Riley Leonard getting some pressure. Got to get rid of the football. And that is a short little pass that goes for just a few little yards for Jeremiah Love. 2nd down and long. In Georgia's defense, like I've told you, they haven't played a bad game. This has not been a bad game. 2nd and 13 now for Notre Dame. But like I said, this has been a defensive football game outside of some just crazy plays. 6.5 to go in the third. Leonard with the running back to his left, sends Great House in motion. Leonard, pressure, throwing, incomplete. He threw it short of Jaden Greathouse. 3rd and 13 for the Irish. And so I'll wait and see, but maybe a little bit of, not too much of a hit. I was looking to see if it was a little bit more of a violent hit before I commented whether I thought it was a late hit or not, but clearly that's just, just a little tap after the play. But here we go. Leonard throwing. That's face on. I don't think he got it. Great job by the Georgia defense. That gets right to midfield. And now, does Marcus Freeman leave the offense out there and go for this? And a injured defensive player for Georgia, Michael Williams, is down. So Marcus Freeman, he's got some time to think whether or not, do I go for this? Do I not go for this? It's an interesting thought here. But they're going to go to commercial break, and we will follow them. All right, everybody, welcome back. Just right at the moment, just working on the bracket as far as getting like the remaining portions of the championship style bracket put together for next week. So definitely a interesting ball game taking place right at the moment. But of course, Notre Dame, they had the lead for a little bit. And so now we'll see if they can hold on, if Notre Dame can hold on. Game is back. So we will see. Here we go. 6 minutes, 6 seconds. 4th and 1 for Notre Dame. Leonard all alone in the backfield. Takes the snap. It's going to be a quarterback run. Oh, this is going to be close. I believe he was stopped short. I think he was stopped short. I think this is about to be Georgia football. And did they just give it to Notre Dame? And they may have to look at this. I don't think he got it. No, I don't think he got it. It depends on where the football's at, but you can't see where the ball's at. So it's all going to depend on where they spot it. I don't think he got it. Unless they give a real generous look at this. It's short. It is short. It is Georgia football. This is the third quarter Georgia needed. They now need to go down and score a touchdown. And this ball game is going to come down to the fourth quarter. That is what we wanted for this game, and we may get it. So 5:42 to go in the third. Of course, Riley Leonard is wanting a review. He's not going to get it, though. So here we go. Stockton with his running back to his left. He will hand it off to him. That's ETN, and he will get about 2. And that is all that is doing for the Dogs right there. This clock will roll. 2nd and 9 for Georgia. It's 11 carries, 38 yards for ETN. We'll see what Stockton can do right here on this play. 2nd and 9. 5 minutes to go. Stockton takes the snap. Looking, going to take up and run with it himself. He's going to make a play and makes a very manageable 3rd down here for Georgia. Looks like it may be like a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 type. Yeah, 3rd and 3. So not a bad position to be in if you're Georgia. But Georgia tonight, 2 of 8 on 3rd downs. Notre Dame's 2 of 9. 4.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Man in motion. Here's the handoff to Cash Jones. And I don't think he's going to get there. He stopped at about, he got a yard, but that's all. So now, what's Kirby going to do? Is he going to leave the offense out there, or does he punt this away? If you're Georgia, I think you got to go for this because you're down. And yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to keep the offense out there and go for this. On the season, they're 75% on 4th downs. That's tied for 6th in the FBS. Man in motion. One running back to the right of Stockton. That is Cash Jones. And there was some movement. Flag on the field. And I think this is going to be on Georgia, and this is going to back them up, and they're going to have to punt. And that is on that offensive line, big number 53, Dylan Fairchild. You can't do it. You just cannot do it. You're down 10 points with 3:45 to go in the third quarter. You got to have every yard possible. But now, here comes a punting situation for the Dogs. Drew Miller will be punting back to returner Max Hurlman. And another flag. So is this going to back Georgia up again? So wait and see. So now does Georgia go for it again? They get their 5 yards back, and now they're sending the offense back out there. This is crazy. Two straight penalties. It backed Georgia up. They went and they looked like they were going to punt. Then Notre Dame gets called for a penalty. Now they're going to go for it once again. It's 4th and 2 for the Dogs. So we'll see. Clock is moving. That's the only good thing if you're Notre Dame. The clock is moving. So here we go. Here we go. Here's Stockton. Pressure. Got to get rid of the football. It is short. It got to Dylan Bell, but it's short, and it's Notre Dame football. The defense stands up. Wow. They brought a blitz. They brought a lot of pressure, and Stockton just had to throw it away short of the line to gain and get it to Dylan Bell. And man, that is not what you need. Notre Dame gets a stop. Notre Dame's pressured quarterbacks 45% of dropbacks, which leads the FBS. So here we go. 2 backs in the backfield with Riley Leonard. One goes in motion. Leonard will take off and run with it himself, and he'll get a few yards, and that'll be it for Riley Leonard. So 2nd down, and Jeremiah Love down for, he's not feeling good, whether this is an injury or just if he's still feeling the effects of whatever illness he has. So we'll see what happened to him. And it looks like a right knee injury possibly. He got caught up in a pile with one of his teammates and then a couple of Georgia Bulldog players. Hopefully he'll be okay. That's their star running back. So here we go. 2nd and 4 for the Irish. I mean, I got to say this. If they get a touchdown on this drive, I feel like it could ice the game with the way this is being played today. So here's Leonard looking to throw, and he's going to run and slide after getting the 1st down. So you just see Leonard just calm, cool, collected, and just picking up the 1st down. Today, Riley Leonard, 13-21, 85 yards, 1 touchdown. He's got 67 rush yards of his own. So here we go. Leonard sends a man in motion. Here's the snap. Handing it off to Jadarian Price, who gets the outside, and he gets about 9 yards on the carry. Be 2nd and 1 for the Irish. And I mean, here in the third quarter, they're just happy to just let the clock bleed. Let it bleed about as far as possibly, as far as they can possibly get it. I mean, I can't blame them. That's a good strategy to have right here and right now. Here we go. Here's a snap. Handoff. Jadarian Price trying to get that first down line. He gets it. And just a little bit more. Just some tough running. And so clock will tick. And just, I mean, methodical drive here by Notre Dame. Trying to just put this game away as we're getting near the fourth quarter. Jadarian Price, lucky he didn't lose that ball. He's got 5 carries for 25 yards here today. Under a minute to go, 40 seconds to be exact. One running back to the right of Leonard. Sends man in motion. Here's the handoff, face on. And he gets about 5 or 6 right there. And quite possibly, maybe one play will be ran by Notre Dame. They don't have to run another play if they don't want to. They can just take this to the fourth quarter. But set 6-5 for... They're lining up like they want to take a snap, but they are not going to get it off. So that will end the third quarter. Notre Dame with a 20-10 lead on the Georgia Bulldogs. Notre Dame, they are a quarter away from going to the Orange Bowl against Penn State. Wow. We'll be right back after this commercial break. All right, we got 1 quarter left to play. Notre Dame up 10 points, and they look to finish the deal in the fourth quarter. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. Fourth quarter. 2nd and 4 for Notre Dame. They are at the 27-yard line, and they are in scoring position. If you're Georgia, you got to force a field goal here. Here's Leonard looking to throw. Gonna throw it, and he was lobbing it towards the end zone. Great defense right there. Malachi Starks in position. So 3rd and 4. So this is where, if you're Georgia, you got to force the field goal here. If you don't force a field goal, then this one, if Notre Dame scores a touchdown, I think this is over. But if you can force a field goal, you're going to give yourself a chance. Oh, I forgot the trivia question. I'll get to that during the break. So 3rd and 4. Here's Leonard going to throw it. That is to his man, and that is short. That is Anais Williams he was looking for. He caught the ball, and he is short of the line to gain. It's 4th down, and so now we'll see what Marcus Freeman decides to do. 4th and 1, and they're going to go for this. Notre Dame is going to go for it on 4th down, 1 yard to go. And even if they don't get it, with how Georgia's played today, this is hard. This may be hard to get. Leonard throws it. It's caught. Jordan Faison down to the 15-yard line. But there is a flag on the field, so let's wait and see what this is going to be. And now they may just have to be forced to kick a field goal. Faison illegal motion. I think it's illegal motion or something like that. He wasn't set long enough when the play was ran. He was the one who caught the ball. So now, going to set up a long field goal for Mitch Jeter, 47 yards. If you are a Georgia fan, you're hoping that he misses this. If you're Notre Dame, you hope that he knocks this straight through. Kick is up. Kick is good. Barely good. 23-10. Notre Dame with the lead. 13:47 to go in the 4th quarter, and Georgia still has a little bit of time, but with the way they're playing, though, it is kind of hard to think about any kind of comeback. Notre Dame, their defense has played incredible today. They've only allowed 1 touchdown, and you got to give them credit. They've played a great game. They've brought a lot of pressure, and they've made Gunnar Stockton's first career start a difficult one. And that's what it's supposed to be when you come in and you start in the playoffs. Is it supposed to be difficult? 23-10, Notre Dame. Just soak that in for a minute. So here we go. Notre Dame to kick it away. Georgia to get the ball. So here is Jeter. And that one will sail right into the end zone, Georgia football. So it is interesting. Had Faison not committed that penalty, if Notre Dame scores a touchdown, it may have put the game on ice. But now that it's only a 13-point ball game, it's only 2 possessions for Georgia to have to score. They can, I think, 2 touchdowns. I mean, yeah, they can get this potentially. But we'll see. So here we go. Stockton got a running back to his right, man in motion. Fakes the handoff, now throwing. That'll be caught. And bulling his way for a first down is Dylan Bell. So here we go. Look for them to continue. It looks like they're going to try to go somewhat fast, trying to get up to the line of scrimmage, get their play call. Because, I mean, they kind of have to at this point. Here we go. Stockton takes the snap. Here's the handoff to the running back. Nate Frazier gets some space. He's got room to run, and he's down to the 35. That is where they needed to go. 1st and 10, Dogs. And now, I mean, that is a beautiful run from Nate Frazier. He gets open grass, and he goes. Here's a quick pass to Nate Frazier, who will get to about the 28-yard line. Be 2nd down for the Dogs. So here we go. Here's the handoff. Frazier. 1st down, Georgia. And this has been, I mean, right here, this is the best drive I've seen Georgia tonight. So here we go. 12 minutes to go. Georgia trying to get their play call. 37 rush yards, 17 receiving yards. That's a total of 54 yards for Nate Frazier here today. Stockton sends a man in motion. That's Oscar Delp. Takes the snap. He's looking, throwing. That'll be dropped. Dylan Bell. Okay, Xavier Watts for Notre Dame is in the injury tent, so that is something to keep an eye on. So we will see if he gets back in the ball game. 2nd and 10 for Georgia. Dominic Lovett in motion. Gunnar Stockton rolls to his right. Going to throw back to Oscar Delp. And that's going to lose yards. And just nowhere to go if you're Oscar Delp. So now 3rd down. What can Georgia do on this 3rd and very long? They have got, I mean, it's 3rd and 13. You got to get this 13 yards. You got to score a touchdown. There's no other option. You can't have a field goal. It's got to be touchdown time. Tonight, they're 2 of 9 on 3rd down. Stockton's got his running back to his left. Takes the snap. Stockton looking. Pressure. Throws. Caught. Dylan Bell. Or no, it looks like it was dropped. He dropped the ball. It was ripped away at the last second. Now it's 4th and 13. Quite frankly, this could be the ball game, folks. I know there's 10:57 to go, but being down 13 in the way Georgia's played today, this may be the ball game right here on this 4th and 13 play. 4th and 13 from the 29. Stockton takes a snap. He's looking. Throwing down the middle. That's dropped. Flag. And I think it's going to be like a defensive pass interference. He was looking for Lawson Lucky. And the ball was behind Lucky, but it hit his hands. And they're going to call defensive pass interference because he didn't look back. Didn't look back for the ball. As much as people want to sit here and say that is a terrible call, it is so obvious that was going to get called. I mean, Kaiser played lucky, but didn't try to play the ball. And so they are bailed out And they still are alive here. 10:51 to go. And they got 73 penalty yards tonight. That is not a good sign. And now whistle because we'll see. So we're waiting because the officials are talking. But national broadcast is going to commercial. Let's take a short, quick. Well, actually, first, before we take a break, I got to tell you this answer to our question. Because I told you earlier that tonight this could change big time. So here's your answer. Georgia is 3-0 when playing Notre Dame. Last matchup, they won 23-17 on September 21st, 2019. If I believe correctly, that game was played in prime time in Georgia. So that's just a trivia question here for you tonight. But let's go to a commercial break. We will see you on the other end. All right, everybody, welcome back. 23-10. Georgia is driving, trying to score a touchdown. They need one. They've got to have it here. They have got to have it. Folks, let's take one short little break, and we'll be right back. Here we go. Gunnar Stockton takes the snap. He's looking, throwing to the end zone, incomplete. And he was looking for his receiver, Nitro Tuggle. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 for the Dogs. It's an 8-play, 61-yard drive. This spanned 3 minutes. So here we go. Here is a run by Stockton. He gets a few yards to the 11. Clock continues to move. 10.5 to go. 3rd and 7 and an injury timeout. That's Cross down for Notre Dame. And they were saying that it's very warm inside of the Caesars Superdome. It, of course, but yeah. Either way, let's go to break. All right, game still at commercial break, but Georgia, it is 23-10 Notre Dame. Georgia's got a chance. They got a chance, but we'll see. Can they punch it in? We'll see in a moment. All right, welcome back, everybody. So here we go. We are here in one of the biggest moments of the ball game. 23-10, Georgia. They have a chance to score. Can they punch it in? 3rd and 7, 10:35 to go in the ball game. 9-play drive, 64 yards, 3:12 taken off the clock. They are at the 11-yard line. So here we go. Stockton, he's got his running back to his left. I believe it's Cash Jones. He's got 4 receivers out wide. Here's Stockton looking. Pressure. Gets away. Gonna run, and he only got a few yards. It's 4th down, and it looks like about 5 yards have to gain there. So let's see. Georgia. Now this is a game. This is the game right here. Can you punch it in? So here we go. 9.5 to go in the 4th quarter. 4th and 5. You have got to have it here. What does Stockton do? Looking to the end zone. Incomplete. Looking for another penalty. Incomplete. He was looking for Lawson. Lucky. And it's going to be Notre Dame football. What defense right there. And the ball's just overshot. And Notre Dame will get the ball back. That's just good defense. And man, this is for Notre Dame. This is just not your day. And that right there is Rod Hurd the second with the on defense. So here we go from the 9-yard line. Notre Dame can basically run this clock down as much as they want to. Up 13. Here we go. Here is Leonard handing it off to Price. He's going to barrel his way for a few yards right there. Not much after that. Second down. So Jeremiah Love, we'll see if he can return to the ball game. He's got a hard brace on his knee. We'll see. He's got 6 carries for 19 yards here today. 2nd and 5 for the Irish. Here's the handoff. And Jadarian Price will gain a few yards right there. They're just content to move this clock as far down as they can. But we're just you're just 8.5 minutes away from all 4 teams to get a bye to be eliminated in the quarterfinal round. That is, we didn't know what this 12-team format was going to look like. But you could argue having a first round game may be an advantage. As there's Leonard throwing it out wide. And first down. That is Dwight Phillips Jr. picking up the first down. Of course, the clock stops momentarily for a first down to set up the chains. And the foot is out of bounds, but the ball... Where's the ball? Okay, so they're going to have to review this to see if he did. Or wait, I had the wrong guy. That's Georgia's roster. Anais Williams. I'm so sorry. I knew something was wrong with that name. But they're looking at this. Georgia could get the ball, but the idea of it being 7.5 minutes and them trying to get 13 points, that's just going to be hard. So we'll see. Still waiting on the results of the replay. All right, so it is 4th down. So potentially a chance for the Georgia Bulldogs to get back in the ball game. I don't know. It's going to be hard, though. 7.5 minutes to play. This is going to be a tough ask for this Georgia offense who just has struggled all day long to score. They've moved up the field. That's the thing. They've moved up the field. They just can't score. And so, looks like they're going to bring the offense out here. Here we go. Leonard all alone in the backfield. Can he pick it up? Play clock very low. Here's the snap. Leonard going to throw it deep. Incomplete, but a flag. Colton's got a question, but I'm going to wait just a minute to answer it. Wait and see what happens with this flag. Well, I'll get you your question. Trust me. I'll go ahead and put it on the screen so people can see what it is. We're waiting for what It's an offside for Georgia. And now Notre Dame will move forward. So, you're asking about Gunnar Stockton here today. Well, I don't think he's played terrible. I just feel like there's been, definitely Dylan Bell has dropped some passes. And, you can tell there's some inexperience as far as starting in college. But, I think it was a fine start for him. I don't think it was a terrible game. But here we go. Here's a run. And I believe, that's Jadarian Price who picks up a few yards right there just to keep the clock bleeding. So 7 minutes to go. Notre Dame just handling business right now. 2nd and 9. 6:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Notre Dame just content to let the clock bleed. So 2nd and 9. Leonard will hand it off to Jadarian Price, who will end up getting a few yards right there. It'll be 3rd down. So we'll see if they don't get it, and if they run the ball again, you're looking at, 4.5 minutes potentially. That's the least that Georgia would have as far as time-wise. So 3rd and 7. Here's Leonard. Going to take off and run with it himself. Trying to get the edge. He will get the first down. First down, Notre Dame. And at this point, you got 5.5 minutes to go. It's 23-10. Notre Dame looks to be fully in control here. Crazy things have happened. But right now, it's a playoff game, 5.5 minutes to go. It is hard to think about a potential where Georgia could make a comeback. 15-24 is Leonard, 90 yards, 1 touchdown. He's got 74 rush yards himself. There's another carry up the middle. As I believe that's Anais Williams with the carry. And stoppage of play. So possibly a injury timeout. Either way, what a game. Notre Dame is just under 5 minutes away from going to the Orange Bowl to play Penn State for a chance to go to the national championship game. How crazy is that? We'll be back in a minute. Notre Dame up 23-10 with just under 5 minutes to go. with a chance to go to the Orange Bowl and play Penn State. We were wondering what this 12-team format would potentially look like, and it's providing some drama to the end. 23-10. Notre Dame over Georgia, and so just a interesting ball game. Of course, next game coming up tonight is the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, but of course, this right here, the Georgia Notre Dame game, this is the one everybody was wanting to watch. So here we go. 4:58 to go. Notre Dame with the lead. 2nd and 8. Leonard takes the snap, hands it off, and this one is close to the line. That is big number 83, Jaden Thomas, getting the carry. Very short. He's short, but very close to that first down line. 3rd and 1. This drive, only one pass to go with 7 runs, 36 yards, and it's taken up 5 minutes of this clock. So here we go. Georgia took a timeout, so that's why the clock stopped. Here's Leonard, and he's going to get it. And Georgia, at this point, 4 minutes to go. Notre Dame just picks up another first down. This is just a methodical drive. They know what they got to do. Run the ball and run this clock out, and that's what they're doing. And you got to tip your cap to Notre Dame today. Their defense they gave a lot of trouble to a inexperienced starting quarterback, and just an incredible win here for Notre Dame. Jadarian Price will get a few yards on that carry. Clock stops. 3:25 to go. 2nd and 8. And so I believe Georgia just took their final timeout. So Georgia is out of timeouts here tonight. And so Notre Dame has all 3. 23-10, 3.5 to play in this Sugar Bowl. But Georgia, since 2020, only 3 teams have beaten them. Florida, Ole Miss, and Alabama. Notre Dame looking to join that list here today. 2nd and 8, Notre Dame at midfield. Here we go. Leonard fakes the handoff. It's a little pitch to Faison. And Faison's going to get the first down. There is a flag, so we'll wait and see what this flag is all about. Great run by Faison. Illegal formation on Notre Dame. More than 4 players lined up in the backfield. But that'll move them back. 2nd and 13 for Notre Dame. Here we go. Riley Leonard sends a man in motion. takes the snap, now handing it off, and Anais Williams breaking free. He probably got 2 right there. So under 3 to go. And so Georgia may have a little shot, but I mean, they're going to have to get a stop here. It's 3rd and 11. This has been a long drive, nearly 7 minutes long for Notre Dame. Leonard getting some play calls. Here is Leonard going to take off, and he gets a few yards right there. Notre Dame may just be content to let this go to the 2-minute timeout. It will be 4th down. So here we go. So 2 minutes to go in the Sugar Bowl. Notre Dame in control and 2 minutes away from potentially going to the Orange Bowl. We'll be right back. So here we are, 2 minutes to go in the Sugar Bowl. Notre Dame up 13. Notre Dame most likely will end up punting this football, but we'll see what will happen here in a moment. All right, here we go. James Rendell to punt. Here is the punt. And this one will take a back bounce, and it's a very favorable to Georgia. So here we go, 1:49 to go in the ball game. Georgia, they got to go quick, and this is not the type of situation you want when you consider the fact that a inexperienced quarterback is going to have to try to, of course, young, inexperienced Georgia quarterback is having to try to bring him back with the 1:49 down 13 points. So here we go. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Dogs. Here's Stockton. Flag on the play. False start on Georgia. Oh, I forgot to change the possession arrow. So Gunnar Stockton, I mean, his stats are not terrible. 18 to 29, 225, and touchdown, but it's been rough for him. 1st and 15. Here's Stockton looking, throwing. That one was deflected, but it was caught. First down, or for about 10 yards right there for Trevor Etienne. Be 2nd and 5. And they got to go fast. They got to go faster than this. Stockton, as his receiver, will be stopped right as he catches the ball. They got to go quicker than this. And at this point, you can just tell they're going slow. Like, this is over now. Here we go. Here's Stockton. Looking, going to go deep, and that one's nearly intercepted. 4th and 6. One more play for the Dogs. And, man, this could be it for this year for Georgia. As we said with our trivia question, Notre Dame has never beat Georgia in the 3 times they've played. Lucky number 4 for some reason. Here's Stockton. He's going down, and that's the ball game, folks. Notre Dame. Heinisch gets the sack. Number 4 of the ball game, and that will do it. Notre Dame is going to move on and take on Penn State in the Orange Bowl. Can you believe that? And Stockton, I mean, just nowhere to go with the ball. That is just incredible, folks. Notre Dame, you have just got to be ecstatic. So, wow. There is first kneel down. One more snap, and it'll be it. It will be over. And just a remarkable performance from just remarkable. And there is the final kneel down. Notre Dame is going to win their 13th game of the season. They will go to 13-1. Georgia finishes 11-3. So there's your updated records. I'm finishing up a final design for of course, the trying to get the final look at our bracket. But what a game. So, with this being said, 23-10, Notre Dame goes to 13-1, Georgia goes to 11-3. So, here is a look at the bracket. You can see that Notre Dame has moved on. They will go to the Orange Bowl to face off against Penn State. And to give you a look at a more in-depth semifinal bracket, there you have it. Ohio State and Texas confirmed for the Cotton Bowl. Notre Dame and Penn State for the Orange Bowl. 2 more games to decide who will be playing for the College Football Playoff National Championship. So, folks, with all that being said, it has been 3 straight days of doing 3 straight games, and I'm happy to do it for you. And I will be back next week for the 2 semifinal games, and then I'll be here Monday, January 20th for the College Football Playoff National Championship game. So with that being said, we also got more stuff coming. And if you watch the New Year's Eve live stream, you know that I'm going to try to get some piece of content out every single day of the year. So I'll be back tomorrow, most likely give you a basically a recap of what you saw throughout the quarterfinal round. But for now, everybody, thank you for watching. We will see you again later. Goodbye, everybody.